We're a culture obsessed with optimization. It's probably just an extension of the pervading notion that more is better, because if more is better, then most is best. And we have access to tools and research that mean we can attempt to optimize things like the quality of our sleep, the efficacy of our training, even how we learn new things. But one consequence of this obsession and one failure of critical thought is that we take this idea of always seeking the most and map it onto every area of life. And I think this insatiable appetite for the maximum is often the snake that eats its own tail. In many ways, it defeats itself. See, whether it's via the American dream or self-improvement podcast bros, we're always being told in one form or another, try harder. But more is better doesn't always work when it comes to effort. The irony is that there are many aspects of life in which trying harder prevents the very outcome you desire. Although we might disagree on what constitutes cool, we can all agree that trying to be cool is the very antithesis of it. When a person is obviously trying to be viewed in a certain way, it becomes contrived, calculated, and we react with disdain because we see cool as the opposite of that. It's supposed to be effortless, hence the use of the term try hard for people who are trying and therefore by definition failing to be cool. Similarly, when a person tries too hard to be liked by others, it can seem conceited and disingenuous, the polar opposite of what typically endears us to people. But these are just fairly innocuous examples. What about trying so hard to avoid risk that you expose yourself to the greatest risk of all, wasting your life? And what about trying to get the very most out of life? This is something I always thought I wanted to aim for. I've probably said it in old videos. All I want to do, as if it's not asking much, is get the most out of life. Now, I have come to believe through trial and error that this approach is not the direct route to happiness I once thought it to be, and not really a viable way to approach life. You see, getting the most out of life means getting the most out of every second of every day. It means always making the decision that makes you happiest. It means the right career path, the right life choices, even just the right choice of restaurant. It puts pressure on every single thing you do and leaves no room for error, because there is only one most, and everything else, everything that isn't the best, is therefore a mistake, a regret. It introduces a constant question of comparison. Is option A better than option B? Would something else have been better? Could I be getting more out of life? And that pressure and that comparison steals much of the enjoyment from all of your experiences. Actually, the wrong choice without all the baggage beats the right choice laden with questions every time, because you get to experience it rather than ruminate on it. The paradox with all of the above examples and many more is that often when you try less, you get a better outcome. There are simply parts of life where brute force effort is too blunt an instrument. These, however, are just exceptions that I particularly enjoy because I have a penchant for the ironic, but exceptions nonetheless rather than the rule. Most of the time, the harder you try, the better results you get. But does that necessarily mean that you always should be seeking to try harder in the pursuit of more? I suppose my question is, are we losing our ability to say, maybe that's enough? I got an ad on my Instagram feed that said, imagine there was an app that allowed you to be 25% more productive. And I thought to myself, here's a wacky idea. What if I don't want to be more productive? What if I think I'm productive enough? Imagine that. What if I don't view the sole purpose of my finite existence as producing the maximum amount of output I can possibly manage between birth and death? Is that such a strange thing to say? I get cold emails from people who want to create some white label product that I'd then sell to you viewers and we'd split the revenue. And part of the pitch in these emails is warning me that I'm leaving money on the table, as if the implicit assumption is that anything but extracting the maximum possible profit must surely be some kind of oversight. It's got to be a mistake, right? Now, listen, I'm not some Buddhist monk out here denouncing the material world, right? I have many of the same material desires as everyone else. Big house, a lawn that I could fit a footy pitch on would be sick, although I'd need some real life friends to fill it. High quality kitchenware, you know, nice holidays at nice hotels, the usual. And who doesn't sometimes wish that they could be more productive, and who doesn't want more money? And trust me, I'm not doing feel-good self-acceptance stuff on you to excuse low aspiration. I aspire to a happy and fulfilled life, right? Same as most people. I feel like an ambitious person, but it's possible to want all those things and even pursue all of those things. And I think way more fun to pursue those things without the desperate sense of constantly needing more everything or being driven by the overhanging feeling of never having or doing enough. If you can consciously realize that in some areas you probably do have enough already, enough productivity, enough money, enough likes on your YouTube video. Just kidding, you can never have enough likes on a YouTube video. If you can realize this, then you're free to pursue everything else on your own terms. And that doesn't mean you're not going to try and succeed and achieve stuff and make loads of money and whatever. But it means being led by your own prerogative, not blindly following this doctrine of more as if that's the purpose of life. It means you're better placed to decide whether and when and how to be more productive or make more money, instead of impulsively jumping at every opportunity. I think if you decide you want more of anything, fine, go get it. But really, I guess I just don't like being told that I should always need more, because sometimes I don't, right? And in a weird way, not needing more kind of makes it easier to come by. To me, it means I can pursue all those wants in the manner in which I want to pursue them, which is on my own terms, in my own time, and most importantly for me, kind of just for the fun and entertainment of it. Now, this is quite a privileged take, and I realise that, so there's your warning if you're in the business of fuming at YouTube videos. But beyond the fundamentals, I don't really see goals as all that serious. I don't really see much of life as all that serious. Let me explain. I want to get 1 million subscribers on this YouTube channel. I'll try to, but not because I think 1 million is in any way different to 700 and something thousand. It really isn't. But I'll try just because round numbers are satisfying, and because, like, what else am I going to do? There are lots of options for what else I could do. I just think this is a good one. I try and get in better shape every year because what else am I going to do? Again, options, but I think this is as good as any. One day I'll probably try quite hard to make a shitload of money in one way or another, but not because I need a shitload of money, not because I think I'll be notably happier, just because I think it'd be kind of fun, kind of challenging and interesting. Like, what else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Ultimately, I guess it's just a bit nuanced. Whilst I think ambition and having a good crack at fulfilling one's ambition is a pretty fundamental part to achieving some sense of inner peace, I don't think that the answer to everyone's problems is always simply to try harder or seek more. I don't think that should be the assumed default course of action. I don't think that we should buy into the idea that attempting to optimize and maximize every area of our lives will automatically lead to an optimal life experience. Sometimes less is more, sometimes more is more, but every time you have to decide for yourself rather than, just assuming because someone said, because people said stuff, you know what I mean? Even me, I just say stuff. Don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself.